and getting me strikes on my TikTok account. So some of them are down, but there are other accounts that downloaded my videos or saved them and have reposted them. So if you look under hashtag I'm underscore this underscore bish or bishdom, they come up, the entire thing from beginning to end.
Hi, Sarah. AK. We refer to them as Alaska over here. And I just want to point out Victoria Lynn was a mod for Alaska.
Yes, I was.
And they doxed her and her daughter and has caused nothing but to the innocent, sober community. It's a problem. And at the end of their live last night, hi Becky, I just want to state that they were gloating about how many points the mods got and how many new followers they got. This is what they do. It's great. A safe space. I've always been kind. Victoria has always been kind, and when we didn't agree with them, they turn.
And I also want to point out, because I've been asked about this, I have never in what year I came on during Musically in 2018, 2019-ish, so it's been 6-7 years that I've been on this app. I have never mentioned another creator in my content ever. I have never been involved in any drama. I've never had any drama. I've never had anybody attempt to dox me or bring drama to me. And AK is in drama with somebody, Alaska is in drama with somebody literally every 2 weeks. And now, because all of these people are paying attention to them and there's enough deep dives with what is going to happen is in 5 days or less, there's going to be a claim of some type of a tragedy or some type of mental health issue, and there will be crying and how everybody's bullies. There will be a public apology made to everybody who is in, because that is exactly the cycle that happened with me and has happened with so many people before me.
The apology won't even be up for an hour probably this time.
No, it won't.
Let's also talk about last night they talked about how if you stream somebody else's live, you are.
It's okay for Alaska to do it, but it's not okay for anybody else because then they're a bully. But in Alaska's eyes, they're perfectly fine with not following the rules.
Rules for thee aren't the same for me.
Exactly.
And I just want to mention something.
Yes, she was affiliated with Brandon.
Everybody that's here from Villains Live, I appreciate you coming over here. I wanted to go live so that Victoria can speak and Arizona can speak, because not everybody is seeing the bigger picture. Oh, AK is going to apologize, and then it's going to be all. It's a bit, if somebody wants to hold them accountable, then they're the evil one. You're the bad one. I'm not their enemy. Matter of fact, just a few days ago, after they made a video mocking me, telling my story of sobriety and my personal feelings, they went and made a whole video about it. That's wrong. They do this for clicks, for views, for gifts, and everything else. And then, you got to.
I have recordings of every single thing I claim. I have all of the proof in AK's own words.
Please tap, because they will come in for this to be taken down. They don't like that. I mean, and all we're trying to do is lay out facts here. You know what I mean? Everything would have been fine if they just, I can give you the exact date. December 18th, AK went on a rampage about a mom going through a custody issue here and on the app. And, I felt baited that mom, and said I don't discuss kids on this app. They made it very clear. All of her people made it very clear, and all of a sudden now it's changed, and she's discussing children on my main platform. I do discuss children, custody issues, and stuff like that. So I was kind of taken back when they reacted to this mom that way. It is a problem. This is what grifters do. And getting
Jen,
involved.
if you remember as well.
Girls, can I interrupt for just a second? I just have a second.
Yes.
I just needed to know if Jen needed me to mod. If so, I'll stay. If not, I'm gonna go to sleep because I just started my medication.
Go to sleep, and I'll see you later tonight. Please get some rest.
Bye.
I have enough mods here, I believe.
I would like you all to consider the people in the boxes that in the beginning, when people who had issues with TG came in, TG, court documents, proof that TG had, and did this same thing where they came out and defended TG vehemently, denied this whole group of women that they're now friends with. Then they did in regards to CKN. They took all of the documents that MH supposedly had about CKN and tried to come on and platform that situation and claim that CKN was not who they appeared to do and tried to destroy them. And now supposedly they're saying that they got all of this information in a phone call from G and came on last night and has been continuous since 2021, 22 in several different communities here on the app.
Mark it on your calendar. Every 1.5 to 2 weeks it happens.
Every,
Yes.
like clockwork.
Yeah.
There will be apologies made.
Yep.
Then
And deleted.
people will realize that there is actually no real accountability being taken. Alaska tends to blame their behavior on other people and again get called out for not taking true accountability, blaming everyone else, and then take the apologies down. And then when they can't dig themselves out of the hole, they will move on to another hot topic issue on TikTok and insert themselves. Yes, Darlene.
Darlene, if you want to come in a box, you can. I watched you last night in her live.
This is their so-called playbook of a live, and then because they've done that to us before, come in and apologize and then go right back and have a live and trash us.
Always.
So
So I just
There's a
have
lot
a
of-
quick. Oh,
So
sorry.
No,
Darlene
Darlene,
has
I
a
didn't mean to
question.
talk on you,
Just a
sorry.
quick question. Thanks for
Okay.
this would have been a lot easier hour because I have a family. I have kids. So G can be a lot. But last night when AK went live, I was getting messaged out the woo-yah about my name being brought up, and I was like, "What? Like, who the heck is this person?" Like, I had no idea. So like I tried to go in her chat last night and ask her. You guys heard me say that, but anyways, I don't remember. It might have been you, Victoria, and I'm horrible. I'm sorry. Somebody said that there was a dangerous person because we have somebody that on this app called Spread Love that she uses multiple accounts. She does very vile things. She makes profiles of people's unalive children. She actually made one of my father, who just recently passed away, who was a veteran. But I actually was able to get that taken down pretty quickly. But she's very vile, and she's in a lot of. She was actually in AK's live a lot last night. Sure, she was saying that her name was Darlene and that I was in treatment. Like, this is the kind of stuff that she does, right?
Darlene,
So
these are the kind of people that AK has in her friend group as well.
And I was going to say, and I can't remember if it was you, because I was in a live somewhere earlier when we were streaming Gabi, and somebody did come in and say that AK has somebody that is very much like that, but worse.
Yes.
And they hide in the shadows. And I just wanted to, as much as possible, because obviously, I get it. People can hide behind fake, profiles. And, I've said it before, I can be a punching bag. I'm okay with that. Like, it is what it is. But I was just curious because I know there's a lot of people that, get involved in a lot of this, these awareness, and they just get nervous because nobody wants, their personal information, especially if they have, past traumas or stuff that could, quote unquote, haunt them. So I guess I was just trying to gain a little information. Like, is it a mod, or all of her mods like that? Because I know
So
she
no,
talks to her mods.
It's not a mod. So they play to their mods like they are not the person that we know and perceive them as. So their mods,
Okay, good.
blocked
Like,
you.
I just happen to scroll up. Sometimes I don't look, but yeah. That's the account that she was on my name. That's just how she is. She follows a lot of us around, and so that's where I was just curious about now, since a lot of us got brought into AK, not that we wanted to be, obviously. We have enough crap as, going on. I was just curious to know who are her people that, like to
They
spread.
lurk in the shadows, and that is how one of the trolls decided to flip on AK and release screenshots of text messages, which is how I was able to prove that AK is the person who undoubtedly gave my government name and maiden name, as well as my child's name, as troll to dox me.
And they also had messaged this said troll to have my account permanently banned because me and my husband knew too much of the truth from what they told us. So Alaska does a lot of dirty work behind the scenes to make it seem like she's not doing it, but other people are.
Yep. It's to pass the buck, to keep their hands clean. But this is another thing I will tell you all. The best way takes.
Yeah, and see, I don't know how familiar you guys are with Gabby. Her and her sister are basically the exact same way. Gabby's obviously, I perceive a little bit more worse just because of her child being involved, and yeah. But anyways, like we see those kind of patterns with people. Like, I don't care if this gets back to her, like with AK, like you can apologize to me, but it doesn't mean diddly squat to me, because again, a real person would have never just sought out who lives nearby her. I mean, I guess she does quote unquote true crime, but you're not a detective, you're not an officer. You should have never taken someone's actual name and threw it out there, because she was doing the exact same thing what she was trying to quote unquote raise awareness for. And that was where I was like, wait a minute, like you don't even freaking know the story of what happened or how
Well,
I'm even involved. Like, why would you do that? So that's
here's the scary thing for you though, Darlene, and this is where like why if you want to know the truth, and these women in these boxes will tell you, what I released happened to me. I released it. It's been probably about 3 weeks ago, and then I haven't been joining lives or talking about AK at all, because I just will be a deep dive done on you, and they will try to figure out where you live, and then the information will be passed off to somebody scary, and they will dox you, all in the name of being a wizard and a hero on the internet.
what it is. I mean, I get it and I appreciate the concern. I mean, I already see I've got the little trolls following me around saying, yes, I do love hearing myself talk. Thank you very much. But that's what they do. I get it. They try and silence because they are themselves just like the people that they're trying to support. So, but anyways, I'll pop off of here. I was just curious because I knew that was brought up, and my brain now is just working a little bit overtime because after that live, and I'm just trying to figure out a little bit more about her, because that's me. Like I want to know, like I said, I don't know her. I that was the truth. I've only seen her maybe pop up here or there, but she, and it wasn't my cup of tea, obviously, so I didn't stick around.
Yeah.
I wish everybody would follow that gut feeling, because I think that your initial gut feeling is always going to be the right one. And if I had followed my initial gut feeling back in September, October, I would have completely saved myself from all of this craziness that has come into my life and completely ruined a platform that I had built on telling my story of recovery because of AK.
Yeah, nobody should have to feel that way, but Too High to Cry, you're curious about the villain account? What villain account? Like the villain that just held alive? Because
No, AK started
okay, that's right.
an
You did
account
say that.
called the TikTok Villain Survivor, which they've now taken down. But I was proving that it was them because I would speak on this account, and then AK would almost immediately post videos on TikTok responding to things I was saying about that account as like personally. Like, for instance, I wrote, whoever made this account must have jealousy issues because they made a picture of me that looks like this, but I really look like this. And then AK posted a video minutes later saying, I'm not jealous of anybody. What do
See, a
you?
lot of people are saying that AK and Spread, like, I know that you guys know that there's a person, obviously. I wouldn't doubt spread love. She works in the IT. So you can do a deep dive on her too, because I'm not going to give her the time,
Yeah.
the pleasure of hearing, everything that needs to be said about her. But I wouldn't put it past the fact that she was allowing spread, and they all allow spread in their comments and they never stop this person. I would not put it past that that's who the person is who
Yeah.
has doxed all of your information.
Probably not. I mean, you're probably
No,
right.
she's very vile. She probably has hundreds of accounts on this app, and that's not even a joke. Like, she has hundreds. So I would just watch. Like, you can tell when she comes in, she likes to throw like a lot of hearts. You can tell by the profiles. And if there's anyone that's ever in your lives that knows, they will tell you immediately. Like, she's kind of, she's very well known in that aspect, but I would just be careful because it might be her. Not that you have to be careful, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it very well could be her.
Oh yeah,
Because I do know that she's in AKC.
people's digital footprint becomes very predictable when you see them doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, the patterns with all of these people, they're pretty much all the same, just a little difference here and there, but their patterns are all the exact same. And that's why when you were talking about, that said person that was doxing, I'm like, well, that just sounds something just like what Spread Love does. I mean, she is literally taking pictures of an unalived child and put them on her profile. She even has a person who is very close to a lot of us. She has her child who is no longer with us in her bio, his full name. She's sick. She does things like this, and that's why I wouldn't put it past that that's not who it is, because I did see the first initial live that she had done when she was talking on the whole Gabi situation, that Spread Love was in there. And people were even telling her that spread, and her mods nor her even got rid of that person. So, which makes me believe that it's a possibility.
I almost wonder too if it was the same person that she was yelling, "No, don't block them. Don't block them. You blocked the wrong one."
It could be, because I didn't see, because like I said, Spread has a bazillion counts. Who the heck knows if she was on one of her alias ones? But that to me just was a red flag. Like, whenever I see anybody entertain that person, to me it's a total like, you're blocked, get away, because that Spread Love Michelle is not a good person at all.
What is it with women and their names that start with M?
I don't know. And this one, like I said, and I wouldn't be surprised when I pop off of here if she doesn't have another account. She uses my profile and says, "Hi, I'm Darlene. I'm in treatment." She does that stuff. For the record, I've never been in treatment, but if I was, I would admit it. And because I have utmost respect for the recovery community, because my sister, she's dealt with that for a very long time. So I don't have I don't have any ills, but I myself personally have never been in treatment. But that's how she likes to be. She likes to stir the pot, and she likes to try and, get under people's skins, just like all these other little troll accounts. But I just wanted to see if the patterns, from the person that you were talking about with, AK and the whole doxing, if it kind of matched the whole spread scenario, because, and there could be two other people, it could be a different person, but to me, it really sounds
a lot of lies.
It sounds like it's a Spread Love kind of thing.
Yeah.
So just, watch out for her. And I'll continue listening because, like I said to AK, I don't know her, but I always know that there's two sides, and I like to hear them both and form an opinion, not just go based on what somebody says themselves.
And with this, I feel like you're going to see that there is one side and then 12 other confirming sides.
And that's just like the same thing experience. And that's the same thing with Gabi. Like, I get it. With these kind of people, there's going to be the ones that are like, us, to where we want the best, for the said person. Like, we want them to get the help, at least in Gabi's situation. We want her to get the help. We want to see that her child is safe, the whole 9 yards. We don't, hate her. That to me is a hate. The hate is a strong word. There's probably one person in this planet that I have my reasonings for, but it's not her. And we never want to see anything bad. We don't want to see her unalive herself or anything like that. But there are people that you guys know. I mean, they come in here and they said things about me. There are just people that just want to antagonize and hope
Right.
something bad like that to happen. I don't know why they're sick like that, but there is a very sick group on this platform that does, do stuff like that. We are not like that. You'll never see anybody that's associated with, us that's over there in any chat saying the vile, vicious, mean things. That's not us. And that's what, Villain was trying to come on and tell, AK, like, you came on and made a whole complete ass of yourself, because that's not us. We don't do these things that she says.
Unfortunately, AK doesn't care. It's all about the attention and the behavior.
And
That's
I
all
could
it
tell
is.
that. And
It's
I could tell
abuse.
that last night when I popped in, because I didn't watch her whole thing. We were busy with, the normal Gabi crap. But at around 1 a.m. yesterday or this morning, I popped in because I was like, I know she's not going to stop talking about this. And sure enough, at 1 a.m., she was still talking about it. And I think one of you guys had said in the comments about, she was talking about her views, and I did hear that. Oh, I've got 69K followers now. I've got 5,000 over the past week and just 400 a night. And I'm like, who cares?
And then asking people to subscribe. Also, just to put this to rest, I don't know if you can make my box bigger at all, but this is the call that I made to AK's PO. If you notice, it was made on April 24th, and it was a 14-minute phone call. I made this call after my daughter and I were doxxed. After we were doxxed, because I had already filed a report, and I also wanted to see if there was anything that I could do to stop other people from being victimized. So you can stop saying that you only went real life on me, because I went real life first, when that is absolutely not the truth. Everyone who paid attention knows that you talked about exposing me, quote unquote, from Good Friday until Easter Sunday, and then I was doxxed on Monday. This call was made Thursday, April 24th. So there's your proof. You can stop lying, but I can continue to show the proof of what a liar you are. Over and over again, I will continue to come with my whole face and receipts. Boo.
Okay. Sorry, Victoria.
So anyways, I will hop back down in the comments and listen. I just wanted to ask that question because it's been, I've been thinking about it of, who this person is. So
it's a public office number, so I don't think it counts the same. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Darlene, I saw you in that live last night, and I want to say, I'm sorry the way you were treated. That was not right. They did talk bad about you when you weren't even there, and you didn't deserve that. But that is what they do.
Oh, in the AK live?
Yes. And
see, I was only sent, like, when she did that very initial live where she was, talking to Gabi, and she can say that Gabi was in her ear. We heard her ear pod fall out, and we all know Gabi's voice, especially us that follow Gabi. We know that voice.
Loud.
That was her voice.
Yeah.
Maybe later on she had her mods in there, but that's besides the point. But the fact, like, whatchamacallit, she's not that big of a platform, because I didn't even know who she was, or a big creator. I had no clue. Like I said, I remember her face because I have, late night scrolls, but I was just taken back. I'm like, why is my name being brought up? And the fact that she said to me today that Gabi didn't bring it up, I know that that's not true. Gabi for sure did. She said last night before her live that she had a long conversation, hours long conversation with Gabi. Who else did you have time to talk to that would have brought up my name? That to me was like red flag number one. Like, I'm not dumb. It was Gabi. And because I know the things that Gabi has said, and then I didn't even stay. Like, by the time I jumped in someone's live that was streaming AK's live, by the time I jumped in, she had gotten off. So we went on our, trail of Gabi or whatever. So I don't know. I haven't looked because I'm sure it streamed somewhere of her other live when she said she was going to go back. But I just popped in, like I said, at 1 o'clock because, and she can say until she's blue in the face that she wasn't ignoring me, but she was, because she was reading my comments and the comments were not flying. They were barely coming in, and she read it and then she skipped to the next one and answered that one. And that's when I was like, okay, well, if we're not going to be adults, then I'm wasting my time.
hold on one second. Grouch, if you don't like the conversation, you can see your way out. No disrespect, but, we're a group of people that have witnessed Alaska and the traumas and the disrespect and the hurt and the doxing that they have come together with a mutual respect for one another so that we can get the truth out there. Because if people keep hiding behind these profiles and not telling the truth and people don't speak out, people are continuously getting hurt.
Hey, Jen, can I say something?
Of course
We're
you
in town. We're eating dinner. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Love you guys.
Okay.
Love you
Hey,
both.
so I've been around a while. I think everybody knows that. And I'm glad to see these groups coming together and spreading awareness. And so there's just different things I've noticed, right? I'm glad a lot of times I was just monitoring spreading awareness, and so there's just different things I've noticed. Ooh, someone's recording or something. So there's a pattern of behavior if you recognize it, realizing you could monetize and make money off this app. And what drives monetization and money is views. And what drives views for a lot of people is drama. A drama is an addictive behavior. It's time feeling if you're bored. Was talking about AK's not that big of a creator. It's who AK is protected by that is a very big creator. And what happens is that it ebb and flows, right? So they attach themselves to either viral videos going viral, even if they weren't asked to get on it, not give credit to an original creator, especially if they're smaller, which could help other smaller, or positive press is good press, right? And so when the old accountability warriors started with the MT thing and FEMA and all of that stuff and bringing awareness around that, then that started to die off. And unfortunately happened with what Alaska did to Victoria and several other people, including myself. And then that started to wane down. So all of a sudden, Gabi started to explode, right? And who better? Just literally a few days, but over on this side, because, they've been bullying, harassing on a different account. And next thing you know, a few days later, suddenly they're all involved in the Gabi drama, and they've known Gabi and or the twin or whatever. And suddenly they've increased their views. They've increased their, after going monetized, because they announced that they qualified for monetization again when you go live. And my point is this: when the accountability warriors around, and they weren't perfect, right? They did defend themselves sometimes in a very direct manner, but that was always about awareness. And one of the things, to me personally, that if you're going to spread awareness, I want to bring facts to people, I want to do this, turn off your fucking gifts. If it's that important to you, I watched that live last night and it was gift after gift after gift after gift. You're not helping anybody as creator if that's what you're doing, because that's your purpose. That's exactly your purpose, is to get those views, get those likes going, get those gifts flowing. And that's why that larger creator that supports that person comes into those lives sometimes. That is money.
Did you see who was gifting them in the box today, Vampy?
No.
The people you're talking about.
Yep. Which drives views back to those people. And it's a whole group. It's a whole group of people that do
Hold
this.
on a second. MT was gifting them in the box today?
No, the other group.
Ophelia in the comments about Gabi not wanting somebody to count her meds. And MT was saying, well, why wouldn't she? Kind of contradicting what Alaska was doing, saying, oh, I'm gung-ho for Gabi. You guys are just bullying her.
But these people also said they were backing away.
Bullying, and bullying is not awareness. Awareness is awareness. Bullying is bullying. And I wish people would look up terms and maybe even just use Google to get a little more educated about the terms they use before they use them. When you're telling someone they're a gang stalker, when you're telling someone they're harassing people, when you're saying all this stuff, that is bullying. Bringing awareness and having an opinion is not bullying. Could people do it nicer? Sure. Could your opinion be that somebody's a bad mother? Sure, but that's your opinion. It's not based on facts or anything that's evidentiary. But don't go on another account and do all that stuff to other creators and say some nasty, nasty stuff like, I'm going to record sexual relations with you and do revenge porn, and then say you stand on the foundation and the stone of accountability and internet hero and awareness and true crime. you're talking out of both sides of your ass, and people are starting to recognize you're doing this to get money, and that's all you're doing it for. And no, you are not an RN. Your
Nope.
license is suspended and also expired. Good luck getting it back, because you got a double whammy there. And so I'm not taking away from the fact that the education is there, but your education and your RN is based on whatever you are. Is it general? Is it psychiatric? If it's not psychiatric, don't speak on the psychiatric community.
Well, I now have some questions because, you know, Alaska comes out here and says how the PTSD and how they have the brain injury, and I just recently was sent a video of them claiming to, and I'm very curious about that. You know, someone who has fought cancer. Yeah, I want to know more information about that. And also, I want to bring up Alaska mentioned how they've known Danny for a long time, and they used to do those whole dance, some little girl in a very schmexual way,
Yes.
to a very gross song.
Do they
Because
all have the same playbook?
Yeah.
Victoria went, I saw that months ago. I've been following a lot of these women for a long time when I first came on this app. And when I ever heard Alaska start talking about this and not even knowing what they were talking about, and then saying that they knew Danny, well, that made me think, well, you co-signed on that video that they did. Well, what about when Gabi left the state she was in when she was living in a hotel and went to Florida? Why isn't anybody talking? I respected them, and I'm concerned about their sobriety, because that is my 100% concern and my fight on this app. And you know what? They don't care about that, because you know why? They like the drama that keeps them in that dry drunk state of mind. So much that I came and told my story, and I said this a little while ago. I told my story, and I've only told it a handful of times and not the full one. And Alaska thought it was a good idea to mock me and go make a video about it and post it.
And I want to say something real quick, Jen. The reason we use some code names too is because these types of lives also draw monetization to them. And whether, you know, I'm going to have to say this carefully. Do I have personal thoughts and feelings about Gabi and her family? Sure. Do I also think, in my own personal opinion, and I'm very careful with the words I use, in my own personal opinion, do I think that she has some mental health issues? Yes, I do. It's my opinion. I'm not diagnosing. However, driving views drives her addiction to the internet, which I also believe, in my personal opinion, is an addiction. Just the same as rugs, just the same as, you know, liquid substances, just the same as anything else. The words are hard with, I actually have a brain injury. What's the word, Jen or Victoria or Cindy? Admiration, you know.
Admiration.
Yes.
The feeling they get is a high, right? It's like, oh my God, whether people like me or not, look at all this chat and chattery I have going on, and it's a high
gratification.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's gratification, yeah. And so when you use real names or real screen names, you're driving that to them, right? People
You
are
know
gonna
what,
go check it
Vampy?
out. They're going to go look at it.
It's funny you bring that up, because the whole reason a lot of these like people that have the Justice for Cam profile pictures came to me or looked me up or found me and found out what AK had done to me or Alaska had done to me was because Alaska made a video yesterday accusing me of being a burner account that I am not. Messages this morning saying, you know, I knew there was something off about this person. Like, thank you for sharing your story, blah, blah, blah. So what you're saying is absolutely true. It pushes people to your page when you bring up someone else's name.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing too, watch out for your GoFundMes. Watch the big creators. Watch what GoFundMes they support. Watch the domino effect. One will do it, and then the next one will support the same GoFundMe, and the next one will support the same GoFundMe. And I'm sure there's going to be a GoFundMe coming out of this. Just watch. The pattern is so there. If you just open and are receptive and don't get down into the weeds with these dramas, but watch from a higher vision, the 30,000 foot view, the recognition of these patterns And I, as a software person, am very happy and have been waiting for TikTok to release the no rage baiting, the no grifting, the no that's coming, or I think it took effect today or takes effect the 25th, because it's going to stop a lot of this as long as they stick to their policies.
And I hope that it really does stop a lot of this, because it's so much. And I just wanted to briefly tell my story. I'm not going to take a lot of time. But I was targeted by AK about a year ago. I believe it was last June. She made video after video about me, accused me of calling her probation officer, accused me of calling the nursing program where she was trying to get her license back. I was accused of calling her job and getting her fired. I did none of that. She wanted me to be her troll, and I refused. But then she proceeded to make video after video after video about me, putting my info out there. She's a horrible person. Horrible.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to back up Victoria's story and everyone else's story that has had an encounter with her. She's not a good person, and this is all for money. It's all for clout.
Yes.
And it's
100%.
supported and approved and mandated by the big mama on the app.
Yeah, it's a
Right.
great.
It is. And
It's
that
supposed to be
relationship
Dozen
is,
Bell.
yeah.
Yeah.
She absolutely supports what AK does.
I
which
want
is
to. There was a comment. So somebody said, so they don't go off of facts. No, remember they claim to have a brain injury and they can't remember what happened 5 minutes prior. So how are you a true crimer or anything else like that? And I don't mean that with any disrespect. I'm just saying. And if another thing, they're getting their nursing license back in August. I thought it was April. That's what they said back in October. But I wouldn't want somebody who can't remember anything to be my nurse. Just saying.
Right. And I don't know that license is really coming back. Like, I can't say for sure, but with the amount of
With the patients having been being insured by Medicaid and Medicare, and they admittedly stole medications that they were supposed to be distributing and administered them for self-use, absolutely not. That will not happen.
yeah, I don't think the nursing license is really coming back. I think she's just saying that.
Yeah.
I mean, and technically, I guess she doesn't have a license anymore, but wouldn't she be a mandated reporter? Shouldn't she be reporting on the abuse that we see happening?
You would think so. You would think so.
with
But she
the
said
Gabi and
a
Cam
while
thing?
ago and said
She
that
is
she had her nurse.
under the law. She is not. They are not considered. I'm trying to use the right pronouns. They are not considered a nurse right now. They are trained to be a nurse. They have the education to be a nurse. They are not a nurse in any state in the United States. The
So
license
not
is
technically a
suspended
mandated
and the license
reporter.
is expired.
You
Yeah.
expect somebody who took medications from our ailing grandparents
Yeah.
for self-administration to be moral enough to report child A?
Sure.
Let's also talk about how when they lost their license, they continued to work without a license and got caught.
Exactly. And something else I want to ask. How can she get her how can they get their nursing license back if they have such a memory problem? I mean, it's constant. And it's nothing against AK, but they're constantly saying that they have a memory problem. Well, are they going to forget to give somebody their medicine, or are they going to forget and give it to them twice? How can you be a nurse again if you have such a memory problem? Because they use
Or-
that all the time.
Are they going to forget and take it themselves again?
Exactly.
Victoria, there's a question for Victoria. Does the probation officer even care?
So the only thing that I will discuss regarding that conversation is that I highly, highly, highly encourage all of the people, if you have indisputable proof that you were doxxed, to file a police report. That's the only thing I'm going to say about that.
Okay.
And here's another thing. I got in the box, and Alaska wouldn't be in a box with me. I've been nothing but kind to that person. You know why they don't want to be in a box with me?
They were
Because
scared.
they can't dox me. I dox myself. I put all my stuff out there. I'm not intimidated by them or any of their people. So that is why they don't want to be in a box with me, because I have a very strong personality. Tell it how I see it. People take my honesty as being judgmental. They just can't handle the truth.
They refuse to sit with anyone who tells the truth.
100%.
Yes.
So I will tell you, I was doxxed at the direction of Alaska. My mother, who's one of the first victims in my state of COVID, that they believe was put on that account, and my 1-year-old grandchild was put on that account that doxed me. And yes, it was at the directive. The information was received at the directive of Alaska, and the account, from what I am told, I don't have proof of it, belonged to Alaska.
And that's her MO. She likes to use accounts with family members on it. She likes to use Google pictures of your home to try to install fear into you.
Yes.
And it works. I'm not going to lie. It worked for a while.
Well, let's talk about how they came on this app and told everybody how they got fired, and it was all a big lie and got money through GoFundMe, Cash App. Everybody was rallying, and it was all a lie.
And we bought them everything off their
Is this
Amazon
the
wish
time that I
list
got her
for
fired?
Christmas.
Wait, hold on, one at a time.
Oh,
Go ahead.
No, I said, and we got them everything off of their Amazon wish list.
Yes, you
for
did,
so they could
Victoria.
have Christmas.
You did. Yes, you did, Victoria. You were a great friend, and the way you were treated was wrong. To speak up for them and that community was outstanding, and I respect you for that. And I'm so sorry on how you were treated. I really
I have
am.
a question to ask.
Yeah.
If this may sound strange, but I'm very sorry for what happened to Victoria. And she's speaking out with the truth. And my question is, why can the people that love Victoria not see the truth about AK? That's my question.
I got something to say real quick. I was gonna hop up and say it real quick. Last night, she said in her video that she had facts, but why didn't she show the facts
Exactly.
instead of just talking?
They never do.
They never do.
Never do.
Never.
do.
They always claim to have them, but we've never seen them. Never.
Yeah, since October, there has been this huge Google Drive about the people in these boxes, and we've never seen a single one of those documents of proof. Not one.
Ever.
And
I'm
I was a mod.
I'm not going to mention the names, but there was a creator related to the larger creator, associated, I guess, with the larger creator that we're talking about. And that creator lost their fiance, lost their home, was ran out of the country.
Yep.
The other creator the other large creator lost his job after 15 years. And the larger creator that was associated with him, every year on the death of his best friend's unaliving, they would bully every year on that date that Alaska is a part of and associated with both of those large creators.
Thank you for letting me come up, and I'm gonna go ahead and drop and let somebody else come up. I do appreciate you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you too. I just feel like people should really know what is going on, you know. There's always these, oh, I'm sorry, I should have done this, I should have done that. What about the people that, back, and I just want to make it very clear, this isn't even touching what Alaska has done to people. Susan isn't coming in here. She hasn't come in here. Well, but look what AK did to her. Horrible. But everybody thinks, oh, Alaska, right, they're gonna apologize and everything's gonna be okay. No, that's not how it works.
And to make it clear, Jen, it's not just Alaska, right? There's many creators on here. You can see the pattern. It just happens that the people in these boxes are impacted by the two individuals we're talking about, Alaska and Gabi. But it happens across the board.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Well, what was happening, they were only having like 14 people in their lives. And a week and a half ago, somebody mentioned
Or it might have been Murmur said, "What's the clam slamming?" So I had to tell her. I think it was Murmur asked me.
well, we talked about it on our live on
Hey, Jen.
Thanksgiving. Yes.
There's a person named Melissa Sue that's been asking to come up. I don't know if they
Lisa Sue, yes, they can come up. Absolutely. I don't know a lot of these people, and I'm just trying to protect the people that are in my box.
Oh, somebody else came up instead. Here, I can drop so she can come up. I hit accept, but I'll drop.
I just wanted to touch base with Jen of how these innocent people told AK to stay clear of Alaska, to stay away from said person, and that they were just being drug along. What else happened?
I just wanted to tell you quickly that that Ashley account is Spread Love, one of their accounts, the one that likes to put unalive children on her page and everything else.
Moderators, can you take care of that for me, please?
Yeah,
Thank you.
she'll come back in. She'll come back in on a few other accounts. So if you guys like, if the mods or whatever, we can tag them and let them know which one it is.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. That's all I needed to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
But I mean, the gaslighting is just nonstop. She apologizes. She takes the video down. She's on the
Your mom, you see, Ashley, with the spelling of that. Sorry, Mikey, I'm so sorry. I just want to make sure we're getting the right person.
Mikey, what are you sticking up for AK with, please? I was sticking up for AK.
I was going to say there's an Ashley. She's got red hair in her picture. Don't block her, please. She's good people. That's my girl. But it's
Okay.
Ashley. It's spelled different. She might have left, but I tagged one of your mods. I can't remember which one, who it was, but I did tag them and asked if they could remove, and I spelt it correctly.
If anyone sees her come in, just tag me and I'll take care of it.
Okay, yeah, because that.
Yeah.
Yeah, or G is how we refer to, so that way, you know, for purposes. She'll defend them or the twins, so you'll know. Oh, Colleen just said she just came in under Let Them Always. That's her too. I'm sorry, guys. We're just trying to help, but she's got multiple accounts. But if you guys just pay attention, we'll let you know for sure. But yeah, she's got many.
I've blocked the Ashley Not Spread Love one.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and if you see there's usually a Let Them Always. She'll come in on that too. So that's it. You guys can continue.
Thank you, darling. I appreciate the help.
No, of course. I mean, anything we can do, because we don't want you guys to be victims of her either. But she likes to follow a lot of us around. Like, you know, when she sees us jump up in boxes, I swear she's got like her radar somehow on us. It's creepy. It really is. Yeah, like Melissa said, we feel bad. I'm sorry. We opened, unfortunately, that can of worms for you guys with being, you know, drug in here, but I'm sorry.
We've been dealing with this for a hot minute, you know, and watching them talk about Gabi was just, I was done. Like I said, I've been watching Gabi and her sister. I've been watching Villain. I've been watching Waffle Lawyer and quite a few others for a long time now. And for them to come up here and say that they know them for years, but not be educated on what they're talking about was just, it just put me over the edge.
Yeah, when she said that, I was kind of like, you've known her for years, but yet you don't know any of the truth? That makes no sense at all. So,
and I'm an advocate for children as well. And Alaska said, I don't platform children. I don't talk about children. Why are you doing it now? Because you're monetized and you need the views and you got to make sure you get those numbers up. And that's exactly what they are doing.
And the thing that I didn't understand about that, she's like, I don't talk about children. If she would have done her research and learned about at least our side, like I said, there's our side, and that's the side, you know, and Melissa and everyone in the comments will correct me if I'm wrong, but we are only on the side for the child. We don't give a crap, you know, if she's just on there singing and dancing. And like, if you watch anyone that streams her, when she starts going on that, the singing, the dancing, doing her thing, we usually tune that out. They mute them, and we usually just hold conversations, you know, because we don't care. The only thing we care about is the child, because there is, you know, obviously, because she puts her life on live 24/7, you see the abuse that happens. And I'm not just talking physical. There is a lot of mental abuse that she puts that poor child through. And that's, you know, our biggest concern is we just want the child to be safe, plain and simple.
And you know
That's
what?
why all of us have that justice for Cam. It's not for anything other than for that child to be taken care of. She has purposely held that child back and then wants to put him in the realm of being autistic when he's not. And that hurts. You know, she says, I'm not hurting anybody. Yes, you are. You might not be directly, but when you want to say that your child's autistic, you know, I've spoken before, like, I wish my son said mom, you know, like I long for the days that I can hear that. And when you watch her live, indirectly, when you make up your lies and put your child in a category that parents don't wish for any child to be in, you know, that truly have a child in that community. You don't want a child to, you know, not have a voice. You want every child to be able to speak and, you know, do all the things that all the other kids are doing.
Hey, Darlene, give me just 1 second. Arizona, do you want to answer that? So Arizona is Mikey's husband, partner. And what they went through was honestly horrible.
I'll
What
drop
was the
down so he can
question?
come back.
Mikey started telling what you guys experienced, and because he didn't get to finish it, some people started talking, so people think that like it ended there. So I just wanted you guys to have the opportunity to like tell what happened.
Oh yeah, he'll join.
Yeah.
He'll join on his, but I do want to make it clear that with that last live in Villains where AK's like, oh, I want to expose you and your husband. One, her last text message, I'm sorry, their last text message to my husband was, you're not the problem, Mikey. I still like you a lot. It's your husband that has the problem. So for them to bring him into this was unacceptable. And I think why they said, oh, you want to know the truth is because guess what? We went through some shit in Arizona that our safety was compromised and we needed to get out of Arizona very quickly. So we moved to North Carolina. We reached out to a larger creator, and lo and behold, AK was attached to that creator. So she took the drive of, oh my gosh, I'm going to help these two men get out of an unsafe situation and move cross country. Well, she rode the coattails of larger said creator, and now she's trying to come and say, oh, we're going to expose the truth. Because you want to know what admitting the truth is, AK, if you're listening in the hallway, what you call it. Yes, I did reach out to certain people asking for more help because our quote to move cross country was $3,200. Do you know how much we had to pay just to get our shit picked up and to be dropped back off in Arizona? $10,000. Do you think your little help of $30 really did anything for us? No. People helped us because they felt the need to help because of our situation. So, yes, I am taking accountability of asking people for more help because we had nothing when we moved here. We stayed with my parents. My parents dropped $10,000.
I can confirm that this is all fact because I am good friends with Mike and Polly. We were
I
FaceTiming
have
during this
receipts.
entire time.
I have fucking receipts that I can show where it says $10,000. Unlike said, Alaska has none.
And not to
So
mention that they told everybody to go and request their donations to you back after they decided they didn't want to be your friend anymore.
the
Or
fact
you
that me and my husband were sticking up for AK and Alive because they were being gaslit by said creator. Guess what AK did that entire live? They walked around their kitchen because they felt uncomfortable and didn't want to pick sides. I'm sorry, you're going to take the side of the truth, or you're going to. You thought me and Mikey were great friends because we speak the truth. We don't let anything slide.
Arizona, can I say something before, and Mikey, before, because I think it's going to be really important to your story, before Mikey speaks.
Sure.
So this, I'm assuming this very large creator, Arizona, that you're talking about is the one I'm talking about, that's built their platform off the LGBTQIA community.
No, this is another larger creator out of Arizona.
I'll
Okay.
say the name. They're talking about Lindsay Taylor.
Still connected. Still
Yep.
connected. Okay, so protected, I should say. So this very large creator built their most of their platform off of supposedly being the biggest ally for LGBTQIA community than anybody else. And when you have 13 million followers, you can't say that you're not influencing people's thought processes. And if you look at the history over the last 4 years, every single creator that she supported that has gotten dismoved or forced to leave the country or lost relationships has been a member of the LGBTQIA community that allowed her and her husband to quit their jobs and do this full time. So you tell me if she's an ally and an advocate for that community. Now, Mikey, go ahead.
I completely agree. Second, I just wanted Lindsay Taylor was ending things with her and then pretty much drug her along. Excuse me, sorry. And then I called Lindsay Taylor out, being AK's friend. Like, how can you drag somebody along and say that you love them and then the next minute just drop them like they were nothing? So I was sticking up for AK, everybody in the chat, everybody in the live, and I've literally did nothing to.
And we all have text messages to prove that these conversations were being had behind LT's back. And when we were started asking questions, that's when the hardships towards me started. And we all got pushed out. And
The thing that really just gets underneath my skin is that she weaponized my military PTSD. She called me an addict because I used to drink before and I'm now sober for 5 years. But again, you're going to threaten me and my husband with the truth from people gifting and helping. That paid half of our pickup.
Arizona, I don't think you need to apologize for that. That's what should be happening on this app, not people getting money and dollars a month off the back of communities they say they support and then target and hurt. I think people
I
like
totally
you are
agree.
good.
I totally agree. But the last thing that Alaska said, and Victoria was in the live of villains saying that AK now wants to threaten us with the truth before Jen started this live. So as I was eating dinner, I'm like, wait a second. They've probably been told that we asked for more money from certain people, TikTok, and say we asked for more help. But it just shows you how mental that this person is.
And then they preach against bullying and harassing, and those are intimidation.
discredit us by calling us haters.
And I just posted in my story the text message that AK sent the troll to come after and have my account permanently taken down.
Hold on, we're no longer haters. They said last night we're terrorists.
Well, it's interesting because we were their friends.
Right?
And you know, I can tell you how many times I spent hours on the phone with this person because they were supposedly struggling with
To sit on a live to say that they take accountability and they're against bullying. Bullshit. I will scream it from my backyard.
And you know what else I found interesting? AK was very mean and disrespectful to friends and so on and so forth. And a lot of those people, I know, and I like some of them. They may not like me because of my opinion. That's okay, but I have no disrespect towards them. But you want to know something? Their own leader is degrading character.
Oh, you mean the leader who allowed a man to degrade them all for months, and then when I spoke out about it, decided to dox me?
And
Yep.
to take his side, that's
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah.
That's disgusting behavior. And that person,
Saying, well, I'm not a mom, I don't have any children, and everybody was like, oh, but that's okay, you're still human if it's about children. But there you are, thinking Gabby is like the greatest mom out there. I'm so confused by that. You know, maybe leave those opinions to other people. Are. And there's enough groups out there talking about Gabby that know everything, that do their research. And I do find it very interesting because Alaska said how they were in that what is it? They called it
Mikey,
some.
go back to that.
They were in some room. I don't even know some chat thing. And then they said today that they got a link to it but wasn't in it. And Dylan said, "Well, how's
Oh, the
that?"
Telegram.
There you go.
Which, by the way, I can verify that I know for a fact that AK has Telegram because I know a couple people that used Telegram to communicate with AK.
Well, they did say that they had it, but only used it once and was afraid to go in again on their real name because that's what it's under. But they did
Mikey,
say
go back to the
last night
yellow
that
one.
they were in the Telegram. They said it
Jen,
last night.
Jen, hold on a minute. Mikey wants to show something.
And then today they said that they didn't go in there. So make that make sense.
Okay, here's proof, not to interrupt you guys, but here's proof. The $4,000 was for pickup. It was a total of $9,228, and $794 of it was a deposit before we even got the date to move. So there are the receipts of what we had to pay that you're going to come on here and call me and my husband a liar and you want to tell the truth? There's the fucking truth, Alaska. You dumb bitch.
That's what receipts look like. You should learn how to do that.
I think another thing that needs to be said, and Victoria, I don't know if you have knowledge of this, or Arizona, but be aware with the 323 people that are in here is that, and Telegram, because it is a Russian-owned app. Discord is a US-based app and open to subpoenas for discovery. Telegram is a Russian-owned company, a lot harder to get through. And these large creators talk to each other. They talk about who to target. They talk about how sending followers after each other, and what gravy train, I guess you want to call it, or GoFundMe or trend is trending to latch onto. That is created. And if you watch the large creators, as soon as the heat gets too hot, suddenly, they're donating $4,500, or they're, doing this, or they're doing something nice. And because people don't watch it, because of the just inherent way that TikTok is set up, it's very fast paced, right? So you're watching one video, you may skip the next and the next, and you'll watch another one. So unless you watch it from the beginning to the end, and see the patterns happening, then you don't realize. And if you watch, especially this one really large creator and a couple other ones, they have swiped their entire social media. Swiped it for the first 2 years that they were on social media. The Facebook, the Instagram, the TikTok, those videos are gone. Any negative press from online is gone. Why would you do that? Why do you have a need to swipe your identity for anything you created prior to 2022? Just ask yourself that question.
No, I just noticed that they've been in a box for a hot minute and haven't said anything. I was just wondering who they were.
I don't know who they are.
I was thinking the same thing.
Well, they're gone now. It's just it's It makes me angry that now they get involved in this Gabi stuff when they say they're not going to talk about children. And they hurt another mom on this app and baited that mom December 18th. People got to realize they're doing this for views. They're doing it to make a name for themselves. They are all of a sudden monetized. Lynn, do you really want to come in a box? You've been there for a hot minute. And I want to say something else. I stepped away from when I did a live with somebody in March, and they brought this drama to us, me. And I didn't know Mikey or Arizona from anything. And I watched these two great men get attacked. No reason at all. It's mind-boggling to me. And Lindsay Taylor, I do not care for her, and that's okay. She doesn't care for me. We don't follow each other. We block each other. We move on. You know, and AK says that Alaska says that they're going to do the same thing, but then they go and make videos about me and mocking my sobriety. Someone who claims to be sober. And I'm not saying that they're not, but I mean, that's not what a sober person does. And I'm so over it. I'm so over it. You know, I go into sober communities. I go into the lives there. They want me to go in a box. I don't feel comfortable anymore because I have so many trolls following me. And the sober people in those boxes, they're not safe if I'm in a box with them because of the stuff that they do.
Hey, Karen, can you tell me who makes the decision to give my legal government name and my maiden name to MH to dox me? Get the fuck out of here with that.
And I do want to say again, Jen, that this is not bullying and harassing of any particular creator. This just happens to be the creators we're closely associated with. This happens across the app. And I think the awareness is there are people in these communities, in these underrepresented, targeted communities, like the recovery community, like the LGBTQIA community, like the DV community, like the mental health community, that are targeted, literally targeted to make money off of. That's,
you guys want to know who the true Bish is? Who they love to call Bish, Bish, Bish? Eat your heart out, bitch.
Boxes, you will be gone. And that's just how we move over here. You know, I'm trying to make this a safe place for people. This is not bullying. This is us educating the people that were in villains' lives, and you know, the other people streaming Arizona's life, because they are not who they claim to be.
I don't have issues with anybody until I see them in comments of videos that are baiting me without proof, without receipts, and encouraging the bullying. That I don't have a problem with you until you show me who you are, and then I believe you.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
When they show you who they are, you should believe it.
And it's so upsetting that Karen had to be blocked because you know what, Karen, you know that Victoria was a ride or die for Alaska. Ride or die. You know what? That was one thing about being over in those lives, listening to Victoria talk, being the common denominator of peace and trying to diffuse situations. I remember at one time where something was said that, you know, Victoria was sent to block any negativity towards Alaska. And I was like, oh, that's good, because Victoria's the best person to do that. Be prepared to be attacked and have videos made about you.
You know what's so sad to me is that I saw a video that I don't know who posted. I actually am not really familiar with the account. Something pillows, lumpy pillows. I don't know, but they posted a really, really, really old video today of Alaska AK defending Charles, and that is the person that I became friends with, and that's the person that I wish that they like that he deserves a platform and that people didn't know what was being done behind the scenes to them for sticking up for like all of those things. Like that person is who I became friends with. And fool you, I don't know.
Victoria,
It's
you know
wild.
what happened there, right?
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
That was wrong. That's wrong. You claim to be a safe space, but you block everybody, even if they ask a question. Alaska, I want to say something. You know, being in the sober community, I've been sober for 6 years. In our recovery, they say sober people need to surround themselves with other sober people. You don't see that with them.
Mm-mm.
None of them.
Do y'all know who Playgirl 66 is?
And so I can't touch my phone.
Can I address
I'm
something?
so happy that you came over and here and are talking, because you know what? Seeing the videos made about you and seeing the pain in your eyes affected me. It did. And you and I, we've gone back and forth many times. I respect you as a woman, as a mom, as a sober person, and you did not deserve that.
No, she didn't.
I think about it every day. It bothers me. I talk to my own sponsor about it. That's how much AK has hurt people, and it doesn't end. It's wrong. It's evil. It's
This is
dangerous.
what AK does, though, is community hop. I mean,
Oh, hi, Jen.
yeah. Hi, how you doing?
We all do.
Well,
Jen, do you mind if I address something Mikey just said in the comments real quick?
of
Oh
course.
no, which I'm sorry, we're both Jens. I'm so sorry.
Early Warriors in the very beginning of October, followed that group about awareness and accountability and moved over to the AK side. And Callan, I'm sure you are aware now, that's why you were blocked from our side. There's a charisma there about these creators, whether it's the MT, the LT, the JH, the Alaska, there's a charisma that they have a way of emotionally manipulating people that makes them believable. And it takes these kind of lives of awareness and proof, if you need it, to get people to see the real thing. I think what happened, unfortunate that it happened to Victoria. The old AW group kind of saw that came out of what happened with Victoria, is that's when the awareness really started to happen about what that creator is, what they do, and just how low they will go. One, for their mama, and two, mama on the app, and two, the disgusting behavior that if someone sexual advances towards you and you have documentation and then you're called all these names and outed from the community, I think that Victoria was the key pivotal point, even though it's not belittling anybody else that's went through anything. But I think Victoria's instance is what truly started to bring the awareness around that group of creators centered around the big one on the app and all the soldiers below them.
Oh yeah.
So,
Callan's one of my best friends to prove something else that I had told people had happened. And they had started seeing the light, to be honest with you, before I did. And were like, Victoria, you're the most unproblematic person. And these people, thanks to her and Jen and Brittany for really, and a couple others, really being there for me. Listen, here's the thing I have noticed is that the reason why they will not share space with me or allow me to talk when I'm in a live that they're in is because they know that people listen to me. And I'm not saying that like a whoa, look at me way. It's because I lead with my, I'm telling you, there are really effed up things going on. Then I'm telling you that there are really effed up things going on. And I haven't even gotten into the
criminal
people that
things
tried.
going on.
Yeah,
Criminal.
I haven't even gotten into the people that tried to intimidate me to shut up.
haven't, Victoria, and that's another. And I know exactly what Victoria's talking about, which to me is mind blowing. and she hasn't talked about it. God bless her for that. Sorry, Victoria, but I mean, it's true. But the AK has done this before. I mean, I don't know if y'all remember when I came to AK, it was because I had watched for years before and like left the app. And then when I came back, I was sad they were bullied, and now you've totally like changed your story and blah, blah, blah. But the intent for Victoria was to isolate her.
Can I interrupt, Jen? Do you think that they did that because a larger creator reached out to them and was paying them some attention?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what I wanted to ask. Thank you.
Personally, I mean, I watched when, yeah, I think.
Yep. Jen,
yeah.
I was right there with you.
Yeah.
They are
For
promised things. They are promised things. People are paid to be silent, or they are intimidated and threatened to be silent.
That
Yep.
recording that Jen has of AK saying that they are protected on this app is a very.
And I am like a steel vault, and I have kept that to myself. But yes, yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's the same recording, Jen, but I have a recording of it as well.
Don't you think it's unfortunate that we have to record these kind of things?
That recording that I played was a voice memo to me.
Yep. Alaska's actually said it on their live, and there's a recording of that out there too, that I am protected on this app. That LT is, that JH is, that all of them are protected.
To you, Jan, then when they said that they are protected, so you can't do anything, basically?
Yeah, so that was the first time a conversation came up about me being somebody anonymous. Yes.
Okay.
And it was sent to me on a text message, and it was when all of that conversation was first beginning. Yes.
Jen, read my comment.
Yeah.
Jen, read my comment.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to make it very known, RICO and all that other stuff, restraining orders don't bother me. I've gotten tons of them on this app. Just saying.
I'll say two words. No.
Because I did anything to them or they did anything to me. They did it because they know they can't come at me like they come after these other men and women, because I put all my stuff out there. What you see is what you get. That's what keeps me sober, you know? As far as Alaska putting all their stuff out there, that's not the truth. But hey, if they want to roll with that, so be it.
Well, shit, right?
Like
Victoria, Vampy's to blame for everything, right? Isn't that what they always say?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, the AWs. Yep. 100%.
Yep.
You guys were all
We're to blame for everything.
Yep.
You know what? I want to touch on something that Callan is saying. It says, I was told that the Tom thing would have been okay for LT. Okay, Victoria in that live, and then they said, let's Ashley Hennessy, let's take it off the app. Let's go into a private conversation and do this. And I was like, wow, because I just happened to scroll upon it. I was like, wow, they're really working on Star Wars homie. Has been doing this to all of us. You know, thinks he's in control. And you know what? Come to find out, they all backpedaled and went on Victoria. Now, I don't know anything else, that groups jumping or whatever, but that live right there.
You see, I haven't talked about any of this. But the reason that they backpedaled is because that live ended. The conversations continued in the Discord. A private conversation, a phone call, was had between LT, AH, and Apologize. So a video was made and posted in the Discord of an apology with a long statement from AH telling everyone to accept the apology and coexist peacefully. And after that moment, everybody turned on me.
Victoria, do you remember the Home Goods video by the large creator MT that said that AK, I don't remember the exact words, I have it, but basically the AK was their,
the painting.
Yeah, and then I made a comment on, I'm not going to call out the creator, they're early in their recovery, but I made a comment about showing a sobriety coin because they made a video about me, another member of that group, about me, nasty video, but I tried to redirect it to talk about the sobriety coin. And they made another nasty video about the sobriety coin, and that large creator commented on that video because that video was directed at me.
So I really was a little surprised. And Victoria and I are friends. Like, you know, but she was really not okay. And I understood in that moment that intent really was to Vampy the mean comments. I intentionally kind of glossed over that for my own personal reasons.
I get it. It's okay. I mean, I think the problem they have with me is they just don't intimidate me. I've been through so many traumatic events in my life, and I think that's what's scaring them now is that I like to call them factions, right? For lack of a better term, are starting to come together and bring awareness. And I think it scares the shit out of them.
And that's the only reason why I get upset that, like, I wish everybody would coexist just for now because we've all been victimized.
Tori, I've always liked you. I mean, you said, I think, a mean comment in one live, and I just kind of glossed it over because I didn't give a shit. Because at that point, I don't, people who have, you know, for lack of a better term, seen the light about some of this stuff, because a lot of people take people at face value, right? And there's some very charismatic people on this app that lead you to believe that they're good people. And then even when they're starting to bully and harass and say mean or nasty things to people, you're like, oh, you know, they're just defending themselves. And in essence, they're not, right? And a lot of people left that camp over there because they started to realize what was happening. And now, not that we're the AW group anymore, we're just a group of friends. But now that group and, you know, Jen and her friends and you and the people that left that camp, this shit is true. It's out there. Do a search in the search bar on TikTok. You'll see it. Watch the videos consecutively. You will see it for yourselves. And I think that's all we want, right? Is to say, and what we've said from day one, listen to open opinion. How do you give people the opportunity to see the truth without letting them hear the truth? And I think what we've always said is just listen. Don't bully, don't harass, just listen with an open mind. Then use your own discernment. This isn't about deplatforming anybody. This isn't about making people lose followers. This is just about awareness. And then listen with your moral compass. And if you have such a large group talking negatively about certain individuals on the app and you're still going to align with them, that says a lot more about your moral compass and who you are as a person than the people speaking out against those creators. And that's okay.
It's okay for us to and make videos spewing lies and bullying is not okay. It's just not okay.
Me and my friends were accused of federal gang stalking. Like, seriously?
Gang stalking.
We've never reached
that's
out to anybody. We've never said slanderous things about anybody. If it's an opinion, it's opinion, and we state that. If it's based on evidence that let's go. Let's get our electronic devices, our Discords, our Telegrams, our TikToks, our Reddits, our Instagram. Let's see who wins in discovery. Because I can tell you right now, they don't want discovery.
Mine's a short list. I mean, but yeah, I've been accused of being a nefarious, you know, left the group in December and it's still being said. You know, that's why yesterday I went live because I was like, come on. Could we stop?
Tank just said there are also people who are afraid to unfollow, aka the fear of
that they were in a live, and because they had commented something kind on a post that I made, that AK blocked them. And I said, that needs to tell you all you need to be told, that I'm not asking any of you, not a single one of you, to pick a side, to hate anybody. What I'm telling you is what happened to me. I'm warning you that it could happen to you. And I want you to watch everything because I can't ask people to notice patterns.
Mo plumber. And it was right when I came out and spoke out with Victoria. And I am also a nurse. And so that video was very clearly for a very prissy nurse and the regular person. And so I made a video about like any one of my patients who I've ever had the pleasure of taking care of. And people commented on that post like, I know you're a great nurse, blah, blah, blah. and anybody who commented on that post was blocked. Nobody's ever called me a press in person.
Well, we have people that come over in my lives that have messaged me that they want to comment, but they're afraid of the backlash they're going to get. And a lot of the people that follow Alaska come in creators because the main one that they follow doesn't align with, say, me, for example. I mean, that's bullying in itself in your own community. I mean,
Intimidation.
yeah, that's crazy to me. I'm going to mute again.
And I think too, is a lot it has to do with is that people are afraid that if they walk away from what they see, that they lose their proximity to somebody that they think is famous.
Yep. And they are not famous.
Names, no drama.
With billions of people on the app, I wouldn't call someone that has 1 million followers or 12 million or 400,000 followers popular.
Popular within the niche that they selected.
Well, I'm gonna just be quiet. Yeah.
Melinda, that comment was hilarious. I'm popular. Mine thinks I am too. Amazing.
No, that's what they do over there. That's what they do. That's unfortunate. You know, if you follow them, you can't like or
In here, and this is personal for me. I have CPTS, and I could see that Arizona has PTS. The D is no longer considered a dysfunction, and to say that emphatically that Gabi has PTS to those that really have it.
I agree.
Stop saying that it's in your medical opinion when you are not any type of a medical professional.
Yeah, so we're taught that we're not allowed to diagnose, which is why I would never say that somebody does or does not vote, but nobody's going to catch me screwing up something like that or anywhere. Like, I'm not diagnosing or undiagnosing you ever, because I don't have the credentials to do so, which is kind of my big argument. Kind of know their scope, and that is outside of scope.
I think I need to be diagnosed because anyone want to give it their best shot.
No, not really.
Oh, come on, man.
Delusions of grandeur.
No, I'm not a nurse.
I can get the WebMD out.
Jen, the important word you kept saying was licensed. Just saying.
I know.
I want to say one more thing because there's a certain individual on this app that keeps saying they have 11 felonies. They've also stated in a live or a video that their father got them out of and into a diversion program. That person does not have 11 felonies. Those are pending charges based on the outcome of the diversion program. So it's also offensive for those people who are actual felons and have turned their life around and lived that and improve their lives to say that you're a felon when you are not a convicted felon and your supposed dad got you off and into the diversion program. You have 11 charges that are pending that could equate to a felony if you don't complete the diversion program satisfactory.
And that's
can I add something? They're doing all of this therapy and everything at the very last minute. This should have been done when the court cases were going on. When they
because they were threatened because they didn't do what was required of them.
And I also want to state that accelerated rehabilitation wasn't offered. This was their first crime, but that wasn't offered. Why? Because of the seriousness of the crimes. So that speaks volumes. Regardless, I'm not going after somebody who's committed a crime. On this page, I have many people who have. But to constantly bring it up and then lie about why you're doing this and you're and bragging, oh, I'm therapy, I'm doing this. Oh, wait, hold on a second. You're doing it now because your hand is being forced because you should have done it way back when.
Very vehemently that there was a claim that was made months ago when the AW were bringing these things up and we're saying, hold on a second, you most definitely did not just take things that you were supposed to destroy. And they said, yes, I did. I've never taken anybody that needed their medication. Well, the court documents are out there now, and you did. So you've created a lie claiming it's your story to bring people in under the guise of recovery, but you clearly were doing it for years, to the fact that you were taking people's meds, claiming that you gave them to them and were using them for self-administration. When you were asked about it months ago until the court documents got posted.
Yeah, Callan, they clearly said they never took from patients. No, they went into the overflow and they took from there, but wouldn't that go towards the patients as
No,
well?
they
So
didn't. No, them for self-administration. It is
wow.
noted in the court documents that I believe that they thought were sealed, and they're not.
I never cared to even go look. When I was done, I was done. Thank you for educating me on that. That's interesting. Now I have another question. In sobriety, we hold ourselves accountable. That makes me sad for them. Because recovery is a beautiful thing when you live a good sober life and you work a program. It's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, the pink cloud doesn't last forever. I mean, look what we're here doing right now. And that's okay, but this is awareness. You know? I've been trying to do.
The only recovery I've seen Alaska do is banana pudding. Okay, that was a joke.
I had to mute to laugh.
I just walked in the house, which is why I hopped down, but I was in the comments. I wanted to say something about the nursing thing. Again, there's a lot of things I won't say because I wasn't there, but if I could. So the office of the OIG, we've all heard about it, especially with the new administration, you know, inspector generals and stuff. But if there is a nurse who practices without a license and collects government funding, so Medicare, Medicaid, TRICARE, probably federal funding for, say, prisons too, and they are caught practicing without a license, anybody who accepts federal funding for a specified amount of time.
SAM.gov.
The Office of the Inspector General keeps the list. You can go on and Google. You can look at the list. Who's on the list? It's an interesting list. But we can't practice without a license. That's bad.
Say it, Vampy. Terms of service.
Well, my group knows I used to be a Medicare compliance officer.
Of the OIG, you can.
Yeah,
look,
the Office of Inspector General oversees the SAM.gov list.
And then based on how long you're on the list, it doesn't matter if you get your license back or not, because
You need to block Nick Perugini right away.
Comment, Jen?
No, they came in, but they have to go.
Okay.
That is the man that's stalked
Trying to find him.
in 2012.
Done. Prisons in the United States are privately owned and funded by the U.S. government. Yes. Or receive funding. Public hospitals receive funding from the U.S. government.
Ours are funded by the county, but they make a lot of money. Telephone calls and the commissary and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And so there's a health insurance typically at the county and the state and the government level for inmates to receive help.
Yeah. We house a lot of federal prisoners here. I don't know if they're still doing that, but they made a lot of money off federal prisoners. They didn't stay very long, but when they did, they made a lot of money off the. Because they didn't make much off of them because they didn't stay here long. ICE usually come got them pretty quick. So, and that's been going on for years and years. So, but yeah, I know federal.
Their average length of time served. This means that the more inmates these prisons can hold with longer sentences, the more money they earn. They are private prisons that have a federal contract or a state contract.
First of all, all of the support that you guys offer me, the check-ins, all the things, I appreciate so much. Jen, thank you for hosting this live and allowing me to speak when I was cut off in the other live.
Sorry.
Oh no, the other live, honey, not the one you were here.
Of course, Victoria, of course.
But I'm gonna hop down because I need to do some things. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully this helped.
Hear from you what had happened, and Arizona and Mikey and all of us as well. You know, I mean, everybody wants both sides of the story, and
I appreciate it. And like I said, I thank Alaska for driving people to my page by keeping my name in their mouth, because it just allowed people to see who they really are. And you can stop telling people that you don't come and check on my stuff because I thank
Doing
you.
something right, girl. You look happier. You do.
I feel like a very large weight has been lifted from my shoulder,
Good.
by going away, number
Yeah.
one, and number two, the sun and the weather changing, and
Yeah.
just all of
Good.
that helped too. So, but
Good.
it's important for everybody to know both sides. Because Alaska has that pattern of going in, making apologies, and the puppy dog eyes, and trying to win people back, and it's all for growing of a platform. I don't care if you're growing your platform for positive things, but not on trolling and hurting people. That's wrong.
Or on the backs of communities that are underrepresented or
Yes. And
sensitive communities.
you know what? The sober community is other people. I like to help people. I do that on the Book of Faces. I do that through Zoom. And you know what? I don't feel comfortable doing it over here on this app right now because I go into a room, I hop in a box, people call us in the comments and can make them go out and want to do something again. And that doesn't ride with me. And I think that's horrible. Definitely for somebody who claims to be sober.
I state my opinion on how I may feel personally about something. At least I try to do my best to do that and stay within that compass. But I mean, the proof is in the pudding.
I don't hate AK. I don't hate anybody because that just leaves me in a dark place. I am extremely disappointed, and I think what they're doing is extremely harmful to people on this app. Definitely going in and
For certain communities or any community for that matter. And that's truly what your heart is. And I don't belong to any of these communities, but I do support them because of things close to me. And true advocacy has a certain and for admiration. And that's what upsets me because don't make money off the backs of people who are targeted, whether it's mental health, whether it's substance abuse, whether it's DV, target certain communities and then make money off of those communities. That angers me more than anything because that is not advocacy.
Yeah, you're right. And I do expect videos to be made. It's what they do, and
Yep.
that's okay. What other people say about me is none of my business. You know what I mean? People are amazing. I've heard so many great stories. I followed some amazing people, and you know what? They're not going to tolerate people that are bullying other sober people. They're going to sit there and they're going to let you tell your story, and they're going to do whatever they can to protect you. And that they're for the recovery community and this is a safe place, and turn around the next day and bully a bunch of people and call them out when they don't even know the facts is hurtful and harmful.
And I don't judge anybody, but like, when my page goes live or the Scoop Troop page goes live, and this isn't against anybody else, we don't allow gifts because us bringing awareness and us supporting has nothing to do with trying to make money. Our gifts are off. Nobody can send gifts. Has nothing to do with trying to make money. Our gifts are off. Nobody can send gifts. I don't even know. Can they even send hearts, Gab or Murmur? Like, we turn that shit off because we are about supporting those individuals or those groups or being an awareness about those groups, especially, and I'm not belittling any other group, but the LGBTQIA community is targeted right now. Like, they don't exist. Like, they're not allowed to be alive and human. And it's ridiculous that you would choose that group to say you support them. And I'm sorry, I'm going to get upset. Triggers me so bad that you'll say you're an advocate and then you do that to that community and then you turn them against each other. Oh, and there's other people out there, a grandma that's on Social Security that believes that you really care about them and you really like them and you really support them, even though it may be and searching for acceptance, and they give their last $5 to you because you say, "Oh, I'm in need. I need tires." Like, grow the fuck up and stop targeting people for money. It's ridiculous, and I know it's a problem across the nation and across the world, but it's gross.
Well, what I wanted to say before was that it's really important. One of the most important things that you did today, Jen, was allow people to get up and tell their side of what really happened. And these people, I think it takes a lot of them when they're allowed to talk about it, because
Mm-hmm.
that is just, I have been bullied on the internet, on Facebook years ago, and it was not fun. And you think everybody believes the other side, you think everybody hates. It is just an awful, awful feeling. So people really do benefit from being able to talk about what happened. And then when you start seeing so many people saying that it happened to them, it's really it's jaw dropping today. I
Mm-hmm.
did not know there were that.
I was new to the app, and again, I'm not an innocent person in all of this. I believe things that were told to me about the AW, and it wasn't until I came into your boxes and I started listening and looking into things myself where I was like, "Oh, hold on a second. What's being told to me isn't facts. It's just their opinion, and they don't want people to be friends with the group."
Nope.
It's probably best that you weren't here.
Yeah.
Also, I want to just say something real quick.
More trees.
Hold on. Alaska made a comment about when she was in a live being all nice with all the people on the Gabby side. She said, "Block Mary. This is Mary. If you feel you need to block her, that's okay. But she has a vendetta against her, and I would just suggest you have a conversation with Mary if you feel you need answers from what AK said, if that makes sense."
I I wonder if those people are shocked, because I'm not. And here's what's going to happen. here's exactly what's going to happen. AK's going to go with this and she's going to lose followers. And I'm going to say she because when we were friends, she did not mind me calling her she or hey girl, what's up? They didn't mind. So anyways, they're going to do this little drama bit for a little while. And then I give it like 2 weeks. And then they're going to change the narrative so that way they can, all they're doing is follow pooling. They're just trying to get more followers on both sides of the token and rage bait and get the drama follow.
And then there'll be something come up and there'll be a GoFundMe or an ask for money.
Yes.
Patterns.
Yep.
And I gotta say this one thing, Jen. I'm so sorry, but I gotta say it because I just remembered it. The audacity, because I'm called Audacious Vampy in terms of service Vampy. The audacity, the one thing that kept standing out in my mind last night that Alaska said was this person's been bullied so much and I've been bullied too. And the toll that it takes on your mental health, it really takes a toll on your mental health. Are you fucking kidding me? Pot meat kettle. How many people have you impacted mentally from your bullying and harassment, from your narrative? I was like, oh my God, the audacity that they just said that.
Did anybody also realize how they always turned it around and made it about themselves? They are the victim. Yep. Everything is about them and being a victim. Stop living in that victim mindset and move on. Again, what other people say about you is none of your business. There's a thing called scroll on. Don't make videos about them. Just move on. It's people's opinions about you. Everybody's going to have an opinion, you know?
What drives me batty is listening to AK, and anytime somebody has a traumatic event that happened to them, or they're reasoning for PTSD, or they're reasoning for anxiety, and it's like people like her that say like, well, I've been gang raped and I've done this and I've had this and I've done that. Like, why are you so willing and eager to share that to social media to make a point?
Mm-hmm.
That is gross.
That's all to get attention. I mean, how many times did they have to tell their story last night? Like they were trying to convince somebody that their story is real. That's, in my opinion, that's what I got from that.
Yep.
You know,
trauma bonding. That's what a lot of them do.
Yeah.
It's emotional manipulation.
And I don't mean that in any kind of disrespect. I want that to be very clear. I'll listen to the story over and over 100 times. But when you're using it, when you're actually arguing with somebody and mixed with drama and then throw your story of sobriety into there, it's whack.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The conversation had nothing to do with your sobriety. It had to do with you inserting yourself into somebody else's drama when you absolutely had no idea what was actually going on.
Yep.
And that is the problem. That is one of the reasons people don't feel safe going into these rooms. I'm going to say this. I will tell people that I'm in with the sober community that if they mention that room or that community, I'm going to make them aware that it's not a safe place for you. Because it's the truth.
The whole thing is a trigger. Like, you're telling this whole group of, like, a lot of these people that were in that live, 800 people last night, obviously are victims of something or traumatized by this Gabi person or whatever. And you're over here trauma dumping and triggering these people with, who knew that you were going to say gang rape right out of your mouth like that? Like, that could be triggering for somebody that is like, they're going into a space thinking that they're gonna like hear about this Gabi thing and then they gotta hear about your trauma.
Hey, Mary, I need to ask you a question because I saw I had something sent to me, and AK is now claiming that they had cancer twice. Do you know about that?
No, and I highly doubt it. Let's see your portal, girl.
Did anybody else hear that?
I've never heard that in the entire time.
Yeah.
Years.
Yep. I was so glad that somebody got in the box last night was telling them that you can go into the doctor's office or the hospital and you could tell them things that you think you have or whatever, and they will put that in your chart willingly. I was so glad that somebody got in the box and said that because that is a thing.
Yeah, I think I have it recorded actually because I was taken back when I heard that. I'm not 100% sure if it because it came through my message and then the person blocked me. And a friend of mine heard it too. I knew twice. Meredith, they said it twice. They had it twice, right? Please correct me if I'm wrong.
That's crazy. I mean, if you really had that, that sucks. But you're starting to sound like a lot like Elizabeth Dickenbrock.
My thing is, yes, twice. My thing is, I've never heard this from October till now. I've never heard that in all of the brain injury, the falling down, the guy outside the grocery store. I've never
I mean,
ever.
this is the same person that will sit on live and eat like 3,000 calories in junk food and drink bottles of regular Pepsi and then claim that they're a diabetic.
I mean, I didn't know that they were diabetic either.
They
I
went
know.
into the fridge and they showed us like medicine for a diabetic, and it's like there is no fucking way. That must be for an animal or something because girl, you be sitting on there eating that banana pudding. Guess what? I know where they work and I know how many calories and how much sugar is in that banana pudding. There is no way you're diabetic. You sit there and eat that and then drink bottles of regular soda after it.
I mean, what other people eat? It's not my business. Who
I
cares?
mean, they could be diabetic. They're just not a compliant diabetic.
Okay, I mean, I'll give you that.
Mary.
Misty, are you feeling any better?
Mary.
Misty.
Just a little bit.
Did I spell Munchausen correctly?
Yeah, Munchausen. It's close, but
Close
it's
enough. We
close.
knew
But
what you were talking
You
about.
know what I meant, right?
Yeah, we know
yeah,
what
but
you're
yeah,
talking
definitely
about.
Munchausen.
Yep.
Wait, there was heart attacks too. Never heard a thing about that. So
Oh
we're gonna
yeah,
go talk about like
cocaine.
getting like abused, but you never tell anybody until now that you've had heart attacks and cancer. I would think I'd lead with that.
Yeah.
I'd give somebody more sympathy on a stranger on the internet hearing about that than thinking you're just like trying to drive in attention for the other things.
Thank you, Brandy. Munchausen.
Yeah.
That's the correct spelling.
I've done a lot of shitty shit on this app, but there is one thing that I would never do and go on here and do this.
What's your picture?
That is Large Marge from Pee Wee Herman.
Oh my god.
That is the real large mark.
Paul, if you're trying to call me out for being in AK's lives, that's not gonna work. Sorry.
That's not what I do over here. Yeah, Misty and B Juice were in AK's box and they were talking about Gabi, and it was a good conversation. I watched from the outside. I did because I have followed Gabi for quite a while, and Villain and all these other creators that have been talking about Gabi for years, on other apps as well. So
And listen, that night was fun. Like it was lighthearted. There was laughing. It was like when I'm with you guys. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there was none of this other stuff. I can't verify if somebody had cancer or not. Like if they tell me they have cancer, I'm not gonna. I can't be like, can you show me proof, please? That's not who I am.
I was just concerned because they have been so open about everything twice. Like, well, where has this been this whole time since October that I've been following you, and you never mentioned that at all. So it took me off guard. So I question. Did anybody else know about this? I'm sorry if that has happened. So it almost seemed like it's being brought to the table now for views and followers and sympathy.
Well, I mean, they have told me that they had cancer, so I did, and it's been a while now. I don't know exactly how long, but a while. But I didn't question it. I just I'm so sorry. Like I'm not going to question
it. Let's celebrate that. You know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying?
No, I get it.
And I'm not trying to be mean. I was taken back by that.
I want to just say something about what's been going on the last 24 hours. Yesterday, I was not around afternoon. Like I was working, and I didn't catch any of the stuff that happened until late evening. And I'm just going to say this. I immediately went to AK and said, this is not good, AK. Like, you are opening doors that you should not be opening. They understand how I feel about this whole thing. Trying to get it to stop. I can't control people. I don't want to control people. I think by the end of the evening that AK realized that, yeah, it probably shouldn't have happened. But as for today, like I told you guys, I started my new medication. It's knocked me on my butt.
We
I
don't
don't want
expect
to.
you to either, Misty, and I don't think anybody over here insinuated that. I hope not, anyway. I respect your opinion. I respect your friendships with other people. I may not like them, and I'm only speaking for myself. I have feelings on you and other people, and I just want to make that clear because that's not how
I know that.
that's not how I go. You know what I mean? But you know,
I think this thing with Gabby is not a community that anybody should be stepping their toe in and defending because of the CA.
yeah.
If AK's intent was to say, "Hey, look, Gabby isn't mentally well, and Gabby's child does have yada yada," that's on AK. But there's a there's an entire community, much larger and much more angry than any we have ever seen outside of, like I'm gonna say my friends, Vampy's friend group, your so
Following them for a long time. If you go back, there's a video out there on Thanksgiving. No, the night before Thanksgiving, we were talking about her and the whole clam slam thing. I followed these women on the pro legal page for a long time because it involved a child, and that's what that page was about. What happened to unnamed person on December 18th and how they said, we don't platform, we don't talk about children. Now all of a sudden you're monetized and now you want to get involve yourself with the most biggest, craziest drama.
the worst that you could dip your toes into. No, 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 no. Like, yes, I have commented on Gabby. She's a train wreck, beyond a train wreck. She's a whole hot mess of a human that doesn't deserve her child, and I'll say that a million times over. However, that toe of mine is staying out of that water.
Her mother coming into the room and telling her how they don't agree with the LGBTQ, that they don't support it, that they're a bad person for that, because the mother said that to Danny. If anybody,
I didn't see it, but Juice has seen it.
Yeah, bad, horrible. My heart broke for Danny. True, in fact, but what their mother said to that person was horrid.
I feel like a lot of Gabby and Danny's issues stem from the mom.
Yeah.
Not that there becomes a time in life where you have to step away and say, my mom. I don't know how you hate your child because of who they love.
I couldn't. I don't know. When I saw that and I wanted to fight her and hug her.
Because of who they love.
I couldn't. I don't know. When I saw that and I wanted to fight her and hug her because of that, and that was even after I saw that video, and I hated that. But mother could put you like in a place that's not good. Your mother, the one person who birthed you,
supposed to love you unconditionally.
Yes. So instead of going and breaking down the whole Gabby thing, maybe going and supporting your friend that used to do dance.
Mentally unwell, let's back off of her. But it didn't. I don't.
That's not what she said.
We'll agree to disagree with that.
What?
And that's okay.
No,
I'm
not saying that's what she said. That's not what I'm saying that she said. I'm saying the intent in the beginning was that.
I feel like her intent in the beginning was another large creator started to support Gabby, and AK was like, oh shit, I gotta change my view, and they're gonna back him because at the end of that first live yesterday, they're like, send this to Aunt Karen, or wait, I'll just do it myself, blah, blah, blah. They are literally riding the coattails of any other big creator that AK said, send this to Aunt Karen. I don't know who Aunt Karen is, but there was two large creators.
That's another toe you don't want to. That's another pond you don't want to dip your toe in.
I don't know who that is.
Oh no, you don't. No. Aunt Karen will flip your world upside down.
I don't know who that is, but I'm just saying that people are getting bullied on here for no reason. There's so many people that AK could have stood up for getting bullied, and she picks this large topic right now.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying
I
the
know. I'm
impression
not.
I got
I
from the
don't want you
conversation that I
to
got.
say. I'm
No,
sure.
I'm not afraid of that. I'm not saying anything that I wouldn't say to anybody, person to person, behind closed doors, in front
This
of
is a
closed
clout
doors.
chase. This is a
Amen.
money grab. This is a clout chase and a money grab, and we're just gonna sit here and watch the shit just fall apart.
I think that by now everybody has come to see that I don't care to be fake.
Misty was trying to convey was that initially that was the that was how AK was going to present her environment.
Happened. I'm saying
Right.
that was the intent.
Or that was how she was going to play it out in
Right.
my words. Those are my words. And it didn't happen like that.
You want to change the channel?
And Misty, I'd like to kind of repeat what Jen said. I don't care if you're friends with AK. I still like you.
Good.
Being, you know,
There's
being
no
able to,
like there's no like behind the scenes like let's go stick it to Vampy's crew, or like with you guys there's no like let's go stick it to AK's crew where I'm involved. You know what I mean? Like I'm
right.
just
Hey, Misty.
We
Misty.
don't want to. We're not trying to attack AK. How we or they. I don't mean to
I know.
misuse the pronoun.
Hey,
They know
Misty.
how.
You're my. Hold on, Misty. You're my boy, Blue.
You're mine. There's no I mean, Cindy, I'm sorry you feel that way, but like there's no trust. There's no
Where we have to question the trust. If that we're not asking you guys to do anything on our behalf, and you guys aren't
and I
right.
don't like I went in their live for like 2.2 seconds last night. Like I went in, nope. Not 2. My husband said not 2.1. I went in, I was like, AK, come home, trying to get them to come back to Discord.
What my comment meant. And it wasn't about questioning anybody's trust. When you scroll TikTok and you see so much negativity and so much hate, so many people going at each other's throats for no real good reason, it makes me leery of who to welcome into my space. That's what I was saying with that.
No, I get it. And
You
Spin
know?
is right. I did lie. I didn't go to bed. I looked at cookie cakes. Sorry.
I like cookie cakes.
And I did see you in that live try to get AK to stop and get out of there, Misty. And I was like, please just stop talking AK.
I mean, that's what I was doing too. I was like, AK, come home. Like, come on. Come out. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Cindy, I think my
That's
negative posts that you're seeing is just me like that. So I went into a live last week where AK was sitting there with this group, telling them like they were going to help this group fight against Gabi, whatever. I went in there. I did go in there to poke AK. I did, but I did mean it. That when I was like, oh, we can use this 44.4 thousand page to, help your cause. I meant it, like I'll help them, but I was doing it really just to poke AK, and AK snapped out and was like, "Block Mary! I want no parts of it. Mary's blah 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 blah." I knew that was going to happen. I was baiting her, whatever. And but now that they switched up, I'm like, wait a minute. AK does the loudest shit. How did none of y'all like catch on to this when she was sitting in there and she told you to block me? I'm pretty sure that I've never tried to revenge corn anybody or like sit there and like get involved with. Oh, never mind. I'm just saying.
Mary, let me answer Victoria really quick. Victoria, I mean, yes, I talked about what we talked about, but I still haven't seen proof that I sent AK anything because I didn't send anything from our Discord to AK. So, like, that wasn't proven.
Wait, what'd you say? I didn't hear you.
If you're meaning what you said to me, then yes. But if you're meaning the proof, like the proof that I sent AK anything from our Discord back in March, other than what I publicly said I sent, then I still haven't seen the proof of that because it didn't happen.
Proof of what?
Well, back in March, it was said that I was sending stuff out of our Discord to AK, and AK was telling people on the phone, I have everything from that Discord because Misty sent it to me, which didn't happen. So I'm still like, where's that proof? Because like it doesn't exist.
You're responding.
People wanting to understand who AK is and why they're flip flopping.
Can I say something to Misty?
Yeah.
And I mean, you're a grown girl, and this is, please understand, this is only coming from a place of caring for you that I've learned to do over the last several weeks that we've gotten to know each other. Is that there is no getting AK to stop anything.
I know that.
AK is for AK, and AK is very self-absorbed, and will throw, probably there think there's any authenticity there, and that makes me worried for you because I would hate to see you hurt again.
Listen, I know I have clear boundaries now. I know me trying to stop it last night was trying to stop it for AK's good, not my own or my own feelings. I have seen what some of the haters of Gabby's do. They go real life. They have no care in the world to not go real life. I mean, that's their own agenda. It's not mine. I'm not saying right or wrong. I'm saying lock your shit down. Lock it down. Because the minute these people see you comment on AK's videos, anything, they're coming for you. They don't care. If they think that anybody is a Gabi supporter, a Gabi enabler, everybody, and I just don't want to see anybody go down because they are blindly believing.
And I think that's the sweetness in you, Misty, and the you know, the traumatic events that you've been through, that you want to protect people. Unfortunately, yes, there's some good people in that side, and there's some bad people in that side. And unfortunately, you know, some people are just extremists and go after anybody, which is dumb. I'm worried for you.
Let me make this very clear publicly. I am not protecting any. Not. I have business. I have grandchildren. No. And
I just want to
on top
see
of
that.
that,
I've really come to care for you over the last couple of weeks, and I don't want to see that or hear that kind of pain in your voice again.
I know, and I think this is a little bit different situation though, and whereas like it's not affecting me personally, you know what I mean?
Right.
And also like as far as Gabi is concerned, as I'm sure Gabi's saying this, but as somebody who has been abused as a child, if I saw Gabi in public, TikTok would be the last of her worries.
Misty, I have a question in the comment section. Like, do you know where these people might stand? Lindsay, Jason, Ashley, Ophelia, are they pro Gabi?
No. I don't want to speak for them. I'll say that Jason and I were conversing last night during the live. That's all I'll say. But
well, that's a fucking relief.
No, they do not. No, nope, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not even a teeny tiny bit.
I want to say something. I respect your friendship with AK. I don't think it's good for people to just up and walk away from them when they're trying to help them. If it could cause more damage than any of us could imagine when it comes to sobriety. You try to help, but boundaries are key. But I respect your friendship. You try to help, and that goes a long way in my book.
And gift. Yep. I mean, people are saying that Jason was gifting AK, but there's nothing wrong with sending someone a gift. That doesn't mean, like, if somebody's sending someone a gift in their live, it doesn't mean that they are like, yeah, Gabi's the best. Publicly support Gabi.
No, I could separate those. I could separate that. Jason was gifting AK. I know that they're friends. Like, I can separate that mentally. Like, I was just wondering where they stood on this topic.
No, I don't, like I said, I don't want to speak for Jason. I don't think that he would mind, but he's not, no, he is not pro Gabi. I know Ophelia's not pro Gabi. No. Just because they were sending gifts, it wasn't like I'm sure it was more, and I like Jason and I haven't talked about the gift giving, but I'm sure it was more like
Misty is no new breed, and whoever said that, you're lame.
That was lame. That was a low blow. I wouldn't even say that.
what?
I will say
New
this.
breed?
I agree with the whole gift. It's not about the gifts, whatever. What it was for me was when the live was getting ready to end, how they were counting up their points and then saying, "Oh, we got this many followers. Happy go lucky. Yay." And that to me was just it gave me the ick. Because it just showed why you involved yourself in this from the jump.
Oh, I get it, and I'm laughing so hard that I'm the new breed. Whoever that is does not know me.
Not at
You
all.
are
And
not the
if you
new
want to be
breed.
honest, look what happened to Bree, somebody who else was a very loyal best friend follower, and my heart goes out to her as well. I'm sorry.
I don't understand how I'm the new breed. Like what? Like what?
I'm sorry. I just jumped up, guys. Can we not say her name? Like at all. She has vehemently asked to not be mentioned at all in any of this. There's like severely horrible things going on in their real life, and they do not want to be talked about at all.
Well,
Well, I
thanks
mean,
for making us aware of that. I don't like to bring up. She's a great person. I like her a lot, and I wish her well.
I am the new Misty, and the old Misty, and the current Misty, and the present Misty, and I am not anybody else. That is so bizarre.
The difference between us and other people is we can all go into other lives with people that right here in this together and have conversations and not have it, us be criticized or given an ultimatum. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, look at this panel.
Right? I
Listen,
mean,
my
we've had
new
this
best,
panel before.
my new bestie is Mary. Okay,
Aww.
and I dare anyone to say anything to me.
I am the OG bone cone. Nobody else is a
And
bone cone.
as Jen said,
Refreshing being able to come in and out of these these panels and these boxes with you guys because nobody asks me to do shit. I'm just here existing. It is
Well,
so
I mean,
nice.
I think I asked you to do something on Friday, and I was like, nope, don't do it. Don't do it.
I just love it. It's just like, oh, I could just walk into a live and not have anybody expecting shit out of me.
Jen, did you see Meredith's comments? She's made 2 of them.
I'm not seeing them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I think that that's called adultship, right? Is that like I think Callan said there or something. I can't gift. If I see that your moral compass doesn't align to mine, I don't care how nice your live is, I'm not gifting you. And typically, I will not even participate in your live. I just can't do it. I just can't reward bad behavior.
Meg, can you unblock healed AF, please?
I need to jump down. I'm at the getting ready to leave somewhere. I need to head home. But if you guys are still live later, I'll jump in. If craziness happens later tonight, oh shit. I'll talk to you in my Discord. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.
I do want to call attention to something in Discord this morning that Teddy jumped into, and Teddy was sharing things about AK, which whatever, right? Whatever. Until Teddy decided to post AK's entire phone number in this Discord with a bunch of women that nobody knows who they are.
Jesus.
Jen,
Nope.
I can't find them. Sorry, because of the you know how the list works.
I think my daughter-in-law unblocked them already.
Okay.
I got it, Vampy.
Okay.
So just an FYI, if Teddy has your real phone number, be careful. Because she has no problem posting it in an entire Discord of women who've seen these names before.
They were in a live with another group last night, and I'm sure that that's the Discord you might be talking about, and that's not cool.
That's just another problematic non-creator. I can't say creator because they use other people's content.
Yeah. And not okay.
No, not at all.
I don't care who it is. That is not okay.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna eat dinner, so I'm gonna hop down.
Okay,
All
I'll
right,
go
I'm going
too.
to end this live because my dinner is actually done, and I just hope that we were able to give some, good information. It wasn't bullying. We just wanted. Hold on.
I just wanted to say something real quick. This is like off topic. This is just for the people really in the box and whoever is lit in the hallway that has support of my family. But today is election day, and my husband ran again for school board, and we find out tonight at 10 o'clock. Positive vibes, please.
Congratulations. We're positive vibes going your husband's way.
You got them.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome
Okay.
anytime. So with that being said, Mary, are you going to go live later?
Maybe it's just that if he wins,
that were listening to Alaska needed to know the other side. And that's pretty much it. So again, thank you everybody for being here. My name is Jen. I am the Sober Mean Girl, and I'll see you again soon. If anybody's suffering from addiction or problems, I'm always here to help.